Hey everyone, it's Kenji. I'm making some cranberry sauce. Pretty classic cranberry sauce. So I'm gonna add a couple of flavors. I don't know if I have a video. I might have a very old video on cranberry sauce on YouTube somewhere. If I do, I'll link to it, or I'll probably forget to link to it and someone will remind me. Cranberry sauce is really, really easy though. So we're gonna start with, this is 12 ounces of cranberries, so like 350 grams or so. And then about a cup of sugar is what we want. So a cup of sugar is about 7 ounces of sugar, so about 200 grams. Is that right? No, about 200 grams. Yeah, 200 grams of sugar. 200 grams of sugar, 350 grams of cranberries. We're gonna add just a little bit of water to here. Just enough to sort of get it going. And then this is all you really need for cranberry sauce. You could put this on the stove and cook it right now. I'm gonna actually add though a little bit of, I have this half an orange because I'm making carnitas today as well. So I'm gonna add the juice of this orange here, and then I'm gonna go ahead and just shove that whole thing in there so that we get some flavor out of the rind as well. The rind adds a little bit of bitterness, which is gonna be nice in here. And then we'll take it out at the end. I'm also gonna add a cinnamon stick. And you know what, I'm gonna, for fun, today I will add some star anise. So cranberry sauce, you know, I grew up in New England and cranberries come, well, I don't know if they're originally from Cape Cod, but there are a ton of cranberries on Cape Cod. And so, you know, cranberry bogs, the cranberries grow in these bushes. Ooh, I'm gonna cover up my daughter who's standing in the corner. They grow in these bushes, and to pick them, because they float in water, they flood the fields, and then all the cranberries kind of float to the top so that they can be harvested along with all the you know, dead squirrels and chipmunks and stuff. All right, so cranberry sauce is like one of the easiest things you can make. It goes really nicely, obviously, with turkey. It's a traditional side, you know, accompaniment for turkey on Thanksgiving here. But it also goes great with things like roast pork. It's great on roast chicken. It's good on, as a sandwich spread. You know, cranberry sauce is one of those things that we only typically eat around Thanksgiving time, but I honestly feel should be eaten multiple times throughout the year because it's delicious. I generally have some cranberry sauce in the fridge for, well, certainly long after Thanksgiving because we make more than we need. And then, you know, throughout the year, sometimes I'll make some as well and have it in the fridge. Sorry, I just cut up that orange just to make it a little bit more manageable in here. All right, so I won't bore you by making you watch this, but essentially I'm gonna be standing here, just letting this come up to a simmer. Eventually what's gonna happen is the, you know, the cranberries have a lot of air inside them. In fact, let me split one open and I'll show you what it looks like inside. They have a lot of air inside them. They're kind of a sort of spongy texture, you see? And they've got this big air pocket. I don't know if you can see, but they've got this big air pocket. And so what happens is, as they cook and they heat up, the air inside them expands, and that causes them to kind of blow up like a balloon, and eventually they pop. And so what we're waiting for the cranberries to do is for them to pop. And once they start popping, I'll continue stirring this, kind of pushing them around the sides. And that's basically how you make cranberry sauce. And when that's done, that's done. Cranberries, I said I'm going to cut away, but I'll probably just end up blathering through the whole process. Cranberries are very high in pectin. So pectin and sugar are what end up, you know, what thicken jams. So a lot of fruits that are sort of lower in pectin, so something like, say, I don't know, a strawberry has less pectin in it than a cranberry does, or a plum. You know, if you're making strawberry jam, you would need to add fruit pectin to it separately as an ingredient, sugar and pectin, in order to get it to set up into a jammy texture. Otherwise, it just ends up sort of really runny. Whereas cranberries, because they're so high in pectin on their own, all you have to do is add the sugar. And so they provide enough of their own pectin that they'll jelly on their own. You don't need to add anything extra. That's what makes them sort of so nice for and so easy to work with. Some folks like to make sort of a raw cranberry relish for their turkey as opposed to a cooked cranberry sauce. I think a nice compromise actually sometimes is to take half of your cranberries, or say 3/4 of your cranberries, and make a sauce out of them. And then the remaining cranberries, kind of either smash them up in a mortar and pestle, chop them by hand, or give them a little spin in the food processor for a moment, and then fold that into your cooked cranberry sauce at the end, so you get some of that nice, really astringent raw cranberry flavor, as well as the cooked cranberry flavor. But I'm just doing it the simple way today. I'm just going full cooked cranberries. Okay, now I really am going to cut away because I've run out of things to blather about. So I will see you in about 30 seconds. It turned out I was blathering long enough that these cranberries are hot enough that I already hear them starting to pop. So cranberries, you'll see just like you're making a pot of popcorn on the stovetop, they're going to start to pop. So if you listen, let's listen closely here, okay? Ooh, you hear that popping? All right, if I stay too much longer here, I'm going to get a cranberry popped, hot cranberry popping into my face. So I'm going to stir them as they continue to pop. And you'll see some of them already have little burst skins. Once the skins start to burst, they're really going to start to soften up and jelly. But all right, so now I will come back again. I'm just going to stand here stirring, so I'll see you in 4 or 5 minutes. So you see our cranberries have broken down. We are just about finished here. We got maybe another minute left. So at this point, all I'm going to do is, well, I guess I could fish out this orange and cinnamon. You know what? I might just leave it in there as it chills and then fish it all out before serving, because this the oranges and cinnamon and star anise will continue to lend a little bit of flavor. Oh, one thing I'm going to add is a little pinch of salt. You know, even sweet things taste better with salt. It brings out a lot more of the flavors. It allows our tongues to transmit flavors to our brains better. All right, so cranberry sauce, yeah, very, very easy. You can buy it, of course. You can buy the jellied stuff, or you can buy the whole berry stuff. And buying it is a totally fine thing to do if that's what you want to do for your Thanksgiving table, or for any meal you're having. But it is so easy to make. It works with fresh cranberries or frozen cranberries. It doesn't matter. The technique and the ratio of ingredients is about the same. With frozen cranberries, obviously, you might just have to cook a little bit longer to get that chill off of them. But so at this point, all I'm doing is I've lowered the heat down to low. It was sort of at a heavy simmer. I've lowered it down to as low as it goes, so that it's at a very light simmer now, so that nothing burns. And just any sort of remaining whole berries, I'm going to squish them a little bit against the side of the pan. Cranberry sauce, it keeps very well because cranberries are very acidic, and you've added sugar to here, so it's essentially preserved. So it'll keep in your fridge for weeks. You know, you can make cranberry sauce weeks ahead of Thanksgiving if you want to just get that off of your list of things to do, and don't worry about it the day of. So, all right, I'm going to taste this. Man, I love cranberry sauce. Yeah, really tart, a little bit sweet. Nice balance of tartness and sweetness. That orange comes through, the cinnamon comes through. It's all going to sort of flavor up a little bit better as it rests. But I'm going to call this done, shut it off, let it cool down, and then I'm going to put it in the fridge until we need it. All right, guys, gals, non-binary pals, this is cranberry sauce. It is very easy. Hey, Hamon. I don't know what Hamon's going to... Hamon, you want a little bit of a banana? I don't know if dogs can eat cranberry, so I'm not going to risk it. Hamon. But you can certainly eat this. Here, bud. All right. Guys, gals, non-binary pals, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. I should mention that if you are the kind of person who wants to add more flavors to your cranberry sauce, you can absolutely do that. So things like you can reduce some wine, some red wine, and put it in there if you want, or reduce some port. That would be delicious in cranberry sauce. You could add things like fresh ginger if you wanted, other spices. Really, the sky's the limit. So look up some recipes online. I'm sure there are a million recipes for cranberry sauce. I just wanted to show you the way I typically do it. I like to keep it nice and simple, keep it nice and easy. And I wanted to really show you that it only takes a couple of minutes to do. At most like sort of 10 minutes of active work in the kitchen, even if you are the slowest person in the world, because there's basically no cutting or anything. You just dump everything into a pot and you stand there and stir it. Very, very easy. All right, I will see you next time. Bye-bye.